Hello there, and welcome to another episode of Pulse Pods. Are you trying to find true meaning to life and living? Then you are at the right place. I am DJ El Pablo, your host for Pulse Pods. Hey there, it's been a while. Thank you for listening so far to all of the episodes. And this is a new episode, and I am yours truly, DJ El Pablo, with another episode of Pulse Pods. It's been a long time since we put out something, but we're going to try to put out content as consistent as possible. We've been able to create as much as we promised from the first episode. And like I said initially, we're going to be hosting a lot of people on this platform. So we first had Mr. Mac on episode 8, if I remember correctly. So this episode, titled Taking Responsibility for Your Actions, is going to be featuring Miss Esther Ukpong, who is a vlogger with Essie's Thoughts. So I just want to take this opportunity first to wish you a happy new month, and thank you for following through with all of the episodes and everything that we've been putting out for you to make you a better person or a better version of yourself. So we'll just dive straight in, and then eventually at the end of this episode, if you would like, you could actually send in your comments below the post wherever you find this, either on Instagram, or you send it to me on WhatsApp or something. Just send in your comments, or even record your ideas about some of the things that you've learned, and we will discuss it and probably even create something out of it in the next episode. But I am very certain that we've got like loads of episodes with more guests on the show. So thank you very much for listening, and God bless your heart. Let's go straight in.
Hello everyone, this is Esther Ukpong. Thank you DJ El Pablo for having me. So today we're going to be talking about taking responsibilities for your actions. So first of all, what comes to mind when you hear take responsibility for your actions? Well, it simply means you should be in charge of decisions you make in your life. Just like when you own a car and then you decide, I want to give it to someone to drive today. If that car gets bashed, no one's going to blame the person. They're going to say, why did you give the person your car? Right? They're going to obviously blame you because they know you to have the car. So sometimes people cannot take care of things that are not theirs. Like we would take care of our things. We won't take care of our things for us like we will take care of our things. So why let other people be responsible for your actions? Well, I can say this confidently because I have 2 younger siblings, and when my mom gives me a task and leaves, if I give it to my siblings, they will not handle it the way my mom would want it to be handled. Not because they're not smart enough, but because they didn't know the steps and instructions that were given by my mom to do it. So as you would guess, they would mess it up. But when my mom returns and sees what happens, she wouldn't ask who did it, but why I didn't do it right, because it was I she gave the responsibility to. Most times we would rather put the blame on others for being heartbroken, not graduating from school on time, or not being the best at the time. But all this might not really be our fault, but why not just take responsibility for it? It's safer for us to say, I wanted to do that course, but my parents didn't let me, than say I didn't do the course because I didn't have the required credits in my previous exam. Now, don't get me wrong, sometimes we may not be your fault. There could be external circumstances beyond our control, but doesn't mean you swim in your sorrow. And then what happens if you actually take responsibility for your actions? We are human, and therefore we are bound to make mistakes. But what is important is what happens after it has happened. So first of all, taking responsibility for your actions could also include apologizing with a deep sense of remorseful behavior when you have done something wrong, or at least even knowing that you have done something wrong. I mean, it goes a long way to making things better. And it's not just for you to apologize, but the fact that you apologize and make sure you don't do what you did before again. I mean, that's worth every penny. Now, be responsible for the good too. I mean, like, what people think, oh, it's just the bad things you're responsible for, but also responsible for the good things that happen to you. You are in charge of making yourself happy. Also, learn to take credit for the good things you have done. I know we have always said, do not blow your trumpet and stuff, but who would help you blow what they do not know you have? I mean, they don't know you have a trumpet. How would they help you blow it if you don't blow it first? Now, I'm not going to be focusing on taking responsibility or how you people have not taken responsibility, how we have not taken responsibility. But I'm also going to focus on ways we can legit take responsibilities for our actions. But then note, taking responsibility for things you have done doesn't only make you more responsible and in charge of your life and things around you, but also makes other people see you capable. People can now give you tasks because they say, oh, I saw her do that and she was so responsible. She handled that properly. She took care of it properly, and I think I want to give her this task. And this also applies in relationship, because once a relationship comes to an end, they come to an end because both partners rather blame each other than face themselves and look at the issues or where they would have been involved, fix it to now fix the relationship. So taking responsibility for your action actually applies to every part of our lives, relationship, everything. I mean, even the Bible said we will give account of our lives when Jesus comes. So how can you give account of a life you don't want to take responsibility for? Think about that.
We'll now take a quick ad break from our sponsors. We'll be right back.
Hi everyone. Are you a business owner looking for ways to bring that business to the spotlight? Do you need a graphics designer who can help you create marketing videos, logos, flyers, social media content, animations, and lots more for your business? Look no further, you have found me. I am Baby J, the CEO of Baby J's Creations. I am a graphics designer and a content creator. I am here to help take your business to the next level without you having to break the bank. You can reach me on 081 040 58797. I am just a call away.
Welcome back. So we're going back to where Esther was talking about the things we need to do to take responsibility for our actions. Thank you for listening so far.
So, we'll start with things. Number one, consciously stop blaming others. People around you are going to get tired of you when they see you can never be at fault, but always blaming them. Imagine being around someone that every time they do something, they blame you. Now, imagine being the person that is blaming others. I know that not a good light. You don't like being there, but then sometimes we unconsciously do it. So you have to actually make a conscious effort to stop blaming people and taking responsibility. 2, be honest and apologetic than full of excuses, even though you are not at fault. This one happens mostly when you are set an appointment with somebody. You say, okay, we'll meet by 12 o'clock. 12 o'clock person is not there. One person is not there. 2 o'clock person shows up and like, hey, traffic was so bad. Now I know traffic could be bad, but maybe, just maybe, check it out. You might have woken up late, or maybe not regarded the meeting as important for you to at least show up on time. So we should be more of, I'm sorry, I know I woke up a bit late and the traffic was bad. I'm sorry that I showed up late. I mean, things like that will actually help you to consciously notice that you're taking responsibility for your actions. Yes, you might not have been at like the reason why traffic had to be bad, but then maybe if you woke up a bit earlier, knowing that there will be traffic, you would have met the person on time. 3, not everything is within your control, I know, but you have to take charge when it is. You have the power to do that. I mean, God has not given us anything beyond what we can bear. He's always there along the way. He has given us power to handle anything. So, yes, not everything might be within our control, but then the ones that are in your control, what are you doing about it? Are you taking responsibility for it, or you're just watching it or giving it to someone else to take responsibility for you? Now, 4, We hate when people do not keep their promises. You should be one to keep your promises, and this helps you take responsibility for your actions. Like, people might not think this really flows, but then imagine if someone comes and tell you, guy, I'll give you money next week. And then next week you meet the person disappears, goes MIA. Next week, if the person tells you, guy, I'll give you money, would you believe? Would you even bother yourself to go to the person's house? No. Now imagine you being that person that promised people things and you do not keep to it. Once you come again and you promise them that same thing, they might probably not believe you, and if you even promise someone else that they know, they'll say, forget that guy, he's not going to give it to you. And I'm sure you do not want to be that person that people shift away because they feel they cannot trust. To try to keep your promises, that's also a way of taking responsibility for your actions. 5, be in charge. Know what you want from life. I know we are all confused because we have so many things we want to do. I mean, today I might wake up and I want to be a dancer. Tomorrow I wake up and I want to be a motivational speaker. But then when you list out things that you actually enjoy doing, and see things that you want to monetize, see things that you want to focus on, things that you just want to be a hobby, then that's you getting to know what you really want from life, where you want your life to be. And when you see that, you're going to be in charge. You're going to be in charge of the driver's seat because you know where you are going. Now 6, after you know, take actions. It's not enough to just know. Taking action goes a long way. Wisdom is the application of knowledge. You can only be wise when you apply what you know. I mean, like, it's this part, the hard part. You always have like, oh my god, I want to make it to life. Oh my god, I want to have like 1 million by the end of the month. Oh my god. And by the time you finish listening to this thing, like, I want life to give me all this. I want to get this from life. By the time it's now time to apply all of the things you need to apply to get the money, we're like, maybe next week. No, I can do it. It's so hard. And that's the part where you need to work, because you don't consciously try to take actions. You're just going to keep on putting the blame on the whole universe for you not being in charge of your actions, or when being in charge of what you actually want from life. 7, remember to forgive yourself for not starting on time or making a big mistake. This part is very important because most times we always always down because we feel like, we didn't make it that time, we might not make it again. But you have to forgive yourself. You're human. You make mistakes. Yes, you didn't start the time you're supposed to start. It's not late. You can still do what you need to do. Start now. The whole important thing is for you to forgive yourself, understand that you are allowed to make mistakes, and move on. That moving on is the ideal part. Move on. Then 8, do not go back to what broke you or what you're walking away from. Most times now, because focusing on applying and taking responsibility for your actions, after roughly taking some of this stuff and people are saying, oh my god, this person's trying to be a changed person. Okay, good. And all of a sudden, boom, you just shock them one day. Yes, it's normal for you to always go back on some things, but then if you try to consciously, I know I'm using the word consciously because it has to be something that you are aware you are doing. You can't just sit down and say, okay, I just want to take responsibility today, and then you just let anything that comes from your mouth, and you just let anything you want to do happens without you actually taking out time to, okay, I'm about to say this thing, is it going to make sense? Oh my god, I'm about to do this thing, is it going to work out? Did I do it? Should I not do it? Should I say it? Should I not say it? Okay. So try to, as you're on this part, try to leave out the parts. Then 9, address issues and be intentional about choices. This part, addressing issues, like most times, if we do not address an issue now, it's definitely pile up. Imagine you having something that happens now and you're like, let's just bury it. Like, okay, for example, when I was in primary 4, I jumped to JS1. Now, as of then, you're like, almost smart girl. Hey, but then around 5 and 6, when they teach us the conversion and stuff, I don't think I can properly convert at the moment because I skipped the class. So it's a bummer for me now. It actually affected me in university, but I couldn't obviously tell people why I couldn't convert because I skipped the class. So if you don't address an issue at a particular time and you let it slide, it's going to hit you harder when you decide to leave it that long. Okay, then be intentional about your choices. Most time we just make decisions on the whim, like, oh yeah, I just had that. Like, even sometimes when it comes to food, just say food, oh okay, I'm hungry, just give me rice and stew, without even thinking like, okay, I ate rice yesterday, I'm going to eat rice tomorrow, or something like that. Be intentional about your choices in your life, your relationship, every part of your life. Be intentional about your decisions. Be accountable for it. That when you say I said this, someone can come and meet you tomorrow and you still say I said this because it was something you consciously made a decision about. Okay, 10, avoid procrastination. Do things immediately as soon as possible. Do things at the right time, else we would miss some things and end up blaming others. Procrastination, my God. We are so most people are so good at it. Jesus. You want to do something and you move. I think it even happened to me. My birthday week, I had so many things I had planned out to do. I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do this. And I let the thing pile. But that week I was flooded, like I was overwhelmed because I had so many things to do and I had little time to accomplish that. It was so much for me. And I missed out on doing some things which hurts me, pain me. And then I was able to get some things done. So you should always avoid procrastination. We might miss out something and then as usual I can blame, I don't have a laptop, oh my God, the whole week was busy, this one happened. But then still I was at fault because I didn't start it on time. I didn't do what I needed to do to be on time. That's about it. That's just 10 points. I can go over them again. First one is consciously stop blaming others. People around you are going to get tired of you when they see you can never be at fault, but always blaming them. Be more honest and apologetic than to be full of excuses, even though you are not at fault. Not everything. Number 3, not everything is within your control, but you have to take charge when it is. You have the power to do that. 4, we hate when people do not keep to their promises. You should be one to keep to your promises. This helps you take responsibility for your actions. 5, be in charge. Know what you want from life. 6, after knowing, take actions. It's not enough to just know. Taking actions goes a long way. Wisdom is the application of knowledge. You can only be called wise when you apply what you know. 7, remember to forgive yourself for not starting on time or making a big mistake. 8, do not go back to what broke you or what you are walking away from. 9, address issues and be intentional about choices. 10, avoid procrastination. Do things immediately or as soon as possible, because if you do not do it at the right time, you're going to miss out on some things and end up blaming others. So, in conclusion, be intentional about taking responsibilities for your action. Being intentional about taking responsibility for your action makes you positive about thriving in life. If you observe, when you keep blaming other people for things that happen to you, you become very shallow and you will not see any need to push forward because you are just going to keep on blaming them over and over. It becomes a habit and then it makes you stuck. Trust me, when you stop blaming others and start taking action for your wrongdoings, working on it, you would become a better version of yourself for yourself and for others as well. There is more to this, but let God crown your efforts and let the Holy Spirit guide you along this path while having faith, putting in the work and living your best life. So I just pray and hope we learned 1 or 2 things which help us to stop avoiding taking responsibility for our actions, to try to take responsibilities for our actions, because it's not just going to affect us, but also people around us. And most especially after taking all those tips, the Holy Spirit is the only one that can help you through them. You cannot do it on your own at all. So I'm happy to be here. Thank you very much for the opportunity and thank you so much for listening.
Thank you so much for listening to Pulse Pods today. I know that you've learned something valuable to help you with your daily living and finding purpose. Pulse Pods is now on social media. You can send your DMs and your messages to @PulsePods on Twitter, PAULZPODZ, @PulsePods on Twitter. And then you can as well reach me directly on Instagram and on Twitter and on Facebook as well. For Instagram @DJ El Pablo, and then for Twitter @DJ El Pablo _, and then for Facebook is @Mr. El Pablo. You'll surely find me. Send in your messages, your reviews, your comments, and your suggestions. Thank you for listening, and God bless your heart.